disrupted. Okay. So here is the background. A few days ago, I caught a story. It was a report, not even a story. It was a report about rising cases of prostitution on campuses. Unilag was the school that was used as the baseline study. And then I saw another one that made mention of the very popular word in this country right now, hookup. So let's start, shall we, if I may, please, do bear with me. Let's start with definitions, right? Let's go on to definitions, right? So let's start with prostitution. Here we go. Prostitution. Yeah, meaning prostitution. All right. Okay. Let me put the prostitution part. Okay. Or anyone? I think we can start with this. Yeah. Let's start with this. All right. So, yeah, a person, in particular, a woman who engages in sexual activity for payment. A person, in particular, woman. That's the noun now. Who engages in sexual activity for payment. Now, the verb offers someone for sexual activity in exchange for payment. I give you an example. Oh, she has never prostituted herself. That's using it as a verb. Okay? Now, let's look at prostitution. Right? Let's get the act right. Okay? Not the individual, not just the act. Right? All right, let's get it. Prostitution, meaning it is the practice or occupation of engaging in sexual activity with someone for payment. I think everybody pretty knows what that is, right? Prostitution. Okay, now, hook up. There we go. Hook up. Definition. To link someone or something to an object, especially electronic equipment. Yeah, normal dictionary. Okay. Now, let's get it even more interesting. Hook up in dating, right, means having some sort of intercourse. Usually at the spur of the moment with a new partner. Hook up means any sexual act with a partner that you find. Now, in the local parlance, ladies and gentlemen, and this is where this study gets even more worrisome and more intriguing for us, right? It says that within Nigeria's bustling cities, right, and the campuses in particular, there is an epidemic. Now, some would say this is not new, Jude. No. Maybe it's not. Who am I? Right? It's been going on for forever. There's an epidemic of prostitution. But the recent study shows, right, that these hookups, they've rebranded the trade, right, are not happening as early as year one. Basic or pre-degree in some cases. In Unilag, where the study I'm reading from is looking at, the girls no longer look at it as prostitution. Like I said, it's now hookup. It's now sex work. Or it is now using what you have to get what you want. Now let me go back to definition, right? And then look at what sex work means. Sex work. Let's do that real quick. Sex work. Meaning. Sex work is the exchange of sexual services, performances, products for material compensation. Ladies and gentlemen, online, there are some students who are engaging in sex work. They perform acts visually, they share. Sometimes these hookups, they get to be recorded and they are paid a lot of money. 50, 100, 200, and as much as 1 million naira depending on what is demanded of you. But it is no longer the prostitutes or the sex workers that you see standing on the roads. We're now talking about people who are educated. We're not talking about people who are getting educated. We're not even talking about people who are married, who are in universities. But the point here with this survey, right? This research is that it is happening at an alarming rate. It's gotten to the point where many of the girls who are now on campus don't see their actions as prostitution. So once again, I gave you the definition. Maybe the definition that I'm using is old. By the time you guys call in, you probably want to, re-educate me and maybe give all of us better insights. So, is the glamorization of sex work harmful to society? If men and women, and I say, and because boys are involved, by the way, boys are involved. There's some boys, they meet up people online. Okay, let's hook up. We're going to do this. They'll pay me this. They'll pay you that. Are you game? They get paid. Boys, it's not just girls now. Men are involved. They are recording. They are sharing. And these are consensual. These are consenting adults. So, is the glamorization of hookup, is it really affecting our society in a negative way, or is it neutral? You tell me.
The views and opinions shared on this program do not represent the position of Nigeria Info FM. Nigeria Info, let's talk.
With Jude on 92.3 Nigeria Info.
017-923-0002, 017-923-0003, 0817923-0002, 0817923-0003. At Nigeria Info PH, at Nigeria Info PH is where you find us on Facebook and on X, at Nigeria Info PH is where you find us on Facebook and on X. Then send us a message to the WhatsApp number. The number is 08090306416, 08090306416. Message here. This one says, Jude, good morning. Did you say boys are involved and they're getting paid in hookup? This one is from Chris in Port Harcourt. Yes, Chris. I didn't. Men are involved, not just boys. Men are involved. But once again, it's not seen as prostitution. It's hookup. It is sex work. It is it's expressions. Recently, the founder of OnlyFans passed on. He died, and then people are asking, this guy who created this platform for people to be working, because basically that's what they do. They may not be having physical intercourse with you, but like I said, if you look at the definition of sex work, you are exchanging sexual services, not just services, sexual services, performances, people dancing, people giving items. Isn't that the same thing as prostitution? I don't know. I don't know. It's not become glamorized because some of the females, some of the men are no longer bothered. They're not embarrassed. It's not, like I said, you see them at some premieres, right? You see them at some movie shows. You see them with some of your celebrities. You see them with some of your celebrities. You see them at public functions. You may not know who they are, but the people who know, not the same way we have in this country. If you don't go, you don't know. The people who know, they know. All right, this one says, Jude, good morning. This is a very difficult thing for us to come to terms with. Let's be honest. Many of the girls, and now you are saying men who are in school, are doing so because they are surviving without any support. How do you expect them to survive? This sex work you're talking about is what is paying not just their school fees, but also taking care of their families at home. Is this bad or is this good? In a sense, it is good because they're not just using the money to be buying fancy phones, they're also sending money home. Is it bad? Well, how many of us would like to be with somebody who used to be in this kind of work? No name in that message. Is it good? Is it bad? Messages, yeah, well, it's good in a sense because they make money. They're not on the road stealing. They're not, doing yahoo. For example, they're not trying to defraud another person. They're not holding guns and slitting people's throats. But is it bad? Is it now? Really? Is it? Have we glamorized, sex work to the point where people are no longer, bothered about it? I saw a video recently. This is what I do now. Yes, this is what I am do. I am an adult content creator. This is what I do. It's not probably paying taxes as well.